One thing I want to get your opinion on, Chris, is I think because we've seen so much greatness with the big 3/4, Yannick and Carlos being so young and so dominant, it's like we're talking about Ben Shelton and we're talking about, Jack Draper lost at Wimbledon. And, we talk about, like, I've said, Mensik wins Miami, and then it's been kind of like he went back to what he looked like before Miami a little bit, losing pretty straightforward. And, the Fonseca, we're like not really giving him any time. Go ahead. Have these guys ruined expectation? Mike and I were talking before, and I go, it's like we've forgotten that sometimes the rise takes time. And it's like we don't have it to give now.
You named a lot of players in that similar situation. The one that really bothers me is the Fonseca one, because I've seen certain people just engaging in tennis discourse and fans sharing their opinions. I've seen a lot of people I still don't get the Fonseca hype. And I go, he was 130 in the world to start this year. He third round Aussie from qualifying in what was his main draw Grand Slam debut, and he beats Rublev. Like, he loses second or third round in Australia. He then goes to Roland Garros. He third rounds there. Mind you, these are his first times playing best of 5 set matches, and he's not worried about losing in the first round. He's like getting straight in. Third round loss, whatever. He lost to, I think it was Jari. He lost to Jari at Wimbledon, but it won a round. And I'm like, he's played 3 slams so far. He's just entered that top 100. He also has a tour title, and he's entering this point where, because he hasn't made a second week yet, they're like, kid just doesn't have it. I don't see the hype behind it. And I'm like, what are we talking about? Like
he was the youngest player since 2001 to make the third round of both the French Open and Wimbledon.
Exactly.
In 24 years. And
they're like, I don't see what the hype is about it. But yeah, I to your overall point, yes, I do think that these guys have kind of broken the mold and what we're expecting of players. However, I think people forget Carlos's early years, in centers, or we remember them when they start to dominate. And that's what our mind, I think, goes to, of how long Carlos, he was the U.S. Open champion in 2022. But there were times he played Rio. He didn't win Rio. He played Umag. He lost to Musetti in the final of Umag, I believe, in 2022. Guys were still having okay results, but we're forgetting that happened for, say, a year or a year and a half before, boom, Carlos jumps in and wins the U.S. Open. And now he and Sinner play that epic match. Sinner starts to establish himself as one of the best. But Sinner also had some years before then where he had to get his feet wet. He had to kind of learn the tour. He had to learn the ins and outs. And then he was able to kind of start to put it together. And that's all we remember. We just remember the Yannick Sinner of the past, say, 2 years where he's been contending for titles, but he's been pro longer than that. And I think people have to give that same grace to these other players. What we're saying from Ben is nuts in terms of Grand Slam, from the first time entering a Grand Slam to what he's doing. He's made 2 semis, 2 quarters. But again, he's losing to Carlos, he's losing to Yannick, and people are like, he just doesn't have it. I'm like, he's 22 years old. He was in college 2 years ago.
No, it's not that
let's give it the time. Let's give it some. Yeah.
It's not that he doesn't have it. What he has is a matchup problem against Yannick. He has a matchup problem where what he does well is largely mitigated by what Sinner can do well against him.
Yeah.
Right? Sinner's ball comes in bigger than anyone that's ever hit it, and he can find the backhand over and over. He has to problem solve. It's not because he doesn't have it.
But the thing is, the thing that gets annoying is when people start to highlight players after they have that, loss at a slam to one of the big names. It's like, I'm not. Again, similar to the Fonseca thing. What's up with all the hype around him? I don't quite see it yet. We haven't seen it. We haven't seen what we're looking for. And it's like, well, what you're looking for, just give it some time, because these things don't happen overnight.
There's also yes. And I'm the point of this little segment of conversation is to say, have patience with people. It also doesn't help when someone has won one match in their entire Grand Slam life, and you have people on TNT going, he could win this tournament. Oh, absolutely. He's one of the favorites. I'm going, for fuck's sake. Like, what are we doing? Like when I texted Sam, he's like, he's bigger than the Beatles. I'm like, for fuck's sake, can we like just take a second? Like, this is our fault too, a little, right?
Oh, Sam.
Can we just take a second? I was like, I texted Sam, and Sam, I also like Sam, like there's no, like Sam's the best. Like if you have a problem with Sam, I blame you.
No, he's unbelievable. But I know the exact moments you're talking about. And I'm like, I think I saw and I was like,
this is too much.
Whoa. Like in terms of, and then like, I think he kind of started to, in terms of fanfare, like he's the third most popular. I'm like, yeah, that's a different conversation. Like, yeah, that's very fair. Like I remember a quick aside. I remember when they announced that Fonseca was going to be playing his first round on like court 8 at Roland Garros, and Sloane looks at us and she goes, "Do they know people might die? Like there's going to be mobs of people. There's going to be mobs of people trying to get in that court. People will really get hurt if they put him on court 8." And sure enough, the line was down. It was crazy to get in.
Was there.
And we were like, yeah. He's never going to play on a court that is least the size of court 17 for the rest of his career. But that was a funny moment.
But we also like, okay, he draws huge crowds in Miami. That doesn't automatically expedite the learning curve for him because people are interested in him. Like there's a clear separation between popularity and I think he's going to be, I buy the hype, right? But I also don't buy it immediately.
Yeah, it's not. We're not expecting him to just come in and
dude,
final slam in his first year on being inside the top 100. Like,
going into Roland Garros, he had lost like 3 straight first rounds, one in the Challenger, and we're on his first round match, and they're going, he's one of the top 5 title contenders. I'm like, on what planet? Like, I mean, we got to just kind of like take a beat. But to the point, agreed. We've seen these guys, whether it's, Rafa or Alcaraz breaking through, and Sinner's a good example because I have it underlined here. Remember when the narrative was he can't win a big match? Do you remember that? Way back when, like 4 years ago? And so we just need some time and some patience. We don't need Fonseca to be Max Fonseca in the next 3 months. Like it will take a little bit of time, even though we've been spoiled in the best possible way. I want to bring up what you mentioned how the conversation around Sinner used to be he can't win big matches. I feel like now I've heard it, and I think it's such an interesting take of just how tennis is played today. But people have mentioned Sinner, his body is kind of given out in some physical 5-setters. And I can remember someone saying, I don't remember who it was, but they were like, so you want to get him 5. Just push him to 5 sets. I'm like, you know how hard it is to win 2 sets against Jannik Sinner? You're like, this is the game plan. Let's just get him to 5. Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Let's just get him to 5. Then his 5-set record isn't very good, so
yeah,
it
was my favorite when you're like playing someone and like some guy who's on his 7th hot dog is yelling at you from the stands like you're playing like Agassi, who's just you're on your back foot for hit it to his backhand. Shut up. Get out of here.